everybody. Welcome to One Day to Love. Today, my wonderful guest is Adam Huss. He is a heartthrob. He's on General Hospital right now, but he's also shooting a new series called Heavy Hitters. He's also done tons of movies and a lot of other things. He's a wonderful guy. He's playing a very important part on General Hospital, Nicholas Cassadine. And it's a very important role because it was played by Tyler Christopher, who was beloved by many fans and passed away tragically. So we're really grateful to have him. So stay tuned. First of all, welcome to One Day to Love.
Yeah, just jump right in. Hi.
How are you?
Good. You're so pretty.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very
Yeah,
much. I
and I
had
could.
I had a hair issue this morning. Yesterday I told it was my birthday.
Happy
And
birthday.
thank you. Thank you.
Wait, was that today or yesterday?
Yesterday. These numbers are really annoying.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
you
you
want
don't have
to?
to worry about it yet, but you wait. You just wait. Oh my God. Anyway, we're gonna
Do you
pass.
say your birthday number?
You can't not say it.
Okay. So what is it?
I'm not gonna tell you, but you can't not say it. In other words, when I first when I first started, this is what always happens. I start talking too much. So I'm not gonna talk too much. But when I first started, I took acting from everybody, and Liliane Chauvin told me, "Don't ever tell anybody how old you are when you were born." And I was
Mm,
20, and
wow.
I thought she was nuts.
Yeah.
I said, "Why would I worry about that?" Well, now
Right.
I know because it's all over Wikipedia.
Yeah.
So you can't.
I know you can't fight. I'm 40. I'm 47.
I
So
know. I looked you up. That's
yeah.
why I said
So
you didn't have to worry about it yet.
well, some people might say that, some people might not.
I know. That's when men are coming into their best time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely feel that on the inside, for sure. I feel more connected to myself. I would not go back. But it is interesting because doing this show, Heavy Hitters, this baseball show I'm doing in Long Island here, everybody, I'm a coach. So it's all these kids. So it is a slap, like, you realize like, wow, God, I am their coach. And of course, like a lot of them are all like, where you're 47, but you feel it because you're not one of the boys playing baseball. You're one of with all you know, the adults putting down the rules, which
Yeah.
is a lot of fun. But
Tell me about this character you're playing.
yeah, I'm sorry. We keep like, do you want to do this intro or should we do an official start or just keep
I
going?
think I did it already.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's how this is one of those, it's a podcast, so it's sort of like a conversation, and that's why people like to watch it. But I'm
Yeah.
welcoming Adam Huss to my show. I'm really happy to have you on One Day to Love.
So happy to be here.
And Christian Keys is the greatest guy. He's done so much for me, you have no idea.
I've
And
never officially met him, just
oh,
over.
you've got to meet him. You've got to meet him. I've never officially met him either. We're like this, and I've never met
Wow.
him. He's in Boston,
Oh, I see. Okay.
you know. So
But he was a
you
fan and he's helping
how
you
long have you been
facilitate.
on General Hospital?
Well, I took over for the role in 20. I started subbing for him because he kept getting COVID a lot. So he would like, or
Tyler?
some,
Tyler.
no, no, Tyler Christopher was not playing the role for a while. Um, it was Marcus Coloma.
Okay.
So we both tested for the role when they brought back Nicholas. So I'd say I got to do the math here, but I want to say it was 2019.
Okay. Well,
Um,
people that
and
don't
that,
know, which is probably not anybody, but Nicholas Cassadine was one of the big characters on General Hospital, and Tyler Christopher was everybody loved him.
mhm.
He tragically died, and in real life, and so that's who Adam is playing now, and he's doing a really, really good job. So I'm saying that because
Thank you, thank you.
you might have fans like I do that are like family almost.
Oh yeah,
They 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 don't like the way I was treated here, or the way I was treated there, or the way this happened or that happened or this or that, and they wanna do anything that they can to help me.
that's
And
so kind. Yeah,
and they know that I'm not going to make any money on this show until I get 1,000 subscribers. So they're working their last Chinese nerve to get me 1,000 subscribers. I've had so many views, thousands and thousands of views. My bra's showing. I hate that. Wardrobe people.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah, the wardrobe and hair people that I don't have now. But they've done so much for me. They've really they do the for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so cool. I know there really is an amazing fan base of supporters. I mean, on Long Island alone, because in LA, you're in this like fishbowl in a way, right? It's like everybody watches certain shows. There's not really like if you're from a small town and you go to Target, it's different, right? There's just like you go to Target in LA and everyone's like done up and glamorous and like an actor or something. But in Long Island, you go to Target or Walmart or any of these stores, and it's suburban housewives shopping middle of the week, and they watch General Hospital. So I get recognized so much here on Long Island, and I've been coming back. I told you this year a lot with this filmmaker. And this time for sure, because now it's like I've been on so much as Nicholas, I just get these like long stares or these like people approach me and they'll just kind of be like, oh my God, I have to tell you something. You look like, and then when they get close, they realize it is me, but they can't understand why I'm here on Long Island in Target or Walmart.
Yeah.
And staying in my parents' bedroom.
I love it. I love it.
But yeah, it's cool because that support, it feels so tangible and real when you get it online, right? But then you see it in person, and it's always like, we miss you. We want you back. Like, we want you out of jail. It's never, I don't like you, or or just a standoffish thing. It's always this exuberant, like exuberance coming from them, which is a really beautiful thing.
It's incredible. I mean, it's I miss that probably more than anything, but I still have it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
After 26 years. I wasn't on for 20 some years.
Wow.
And they brought me back out of a coffin.
Whoa.
But now I'm dead. They went to all that trouble and killed me
I
off.
heard you were dead. Yeah, like I remember reading that a year ago,
You read it and I read it. We both read it. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah, that was strange. I'm like, why would they do that?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Because I read that you were a fan favorite, and people were like, kept wondering if you were the one that actually had my body. Did you ever read that?
Oh yeah, I read all the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that would have been really cool and interesting. And then like I think that's when I was following that, and then they said that, and on General Hospital, they kept saying it was a woman who had me.
Oh, I know. They teased it and teased it and used it and used it.
And then all of a
they
sudden
had
it was
new
a man.
writers. They got rid of one writers and got new writers, and now those writers are gone. But those writers are the ones I think that had me executed. And Anna came in and lifted up the sheet and said, "It's Olivia. She's been executed," and that was it. I didn't get paid or anything. It really stunk, But
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that.
that's
But
all
hey,
right. I've been dead before, But the point I'm
exactly.
making is that these people will do anything to help you, and that's just incredible. I don't know of hardly any other job where you get that kind of feedback from people,
No, not many, and it is really nice. I mean, it really does open, and it opens doors. I mean, like even with Candace and these jobs, like Candace Kane, the director of Heavy Hitters and producer and creator of it. She is not at all enamored by stardom. Like she's not going to hire you because you're on such and such show, but you'll be on her radar because of that.
Yeah.
So then she'll audition you no matter what. You have to audition no matter what, no matter who you are. And so, I like that because you still have to prove your mettle, and it's not just like you're here because you're someone, but it opened that door, and that's really nice.
Of course, it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Now, I mean, I strive to be in that place in Hollywood where you're a Glenn Powell or something, where doors are opening and you're being offered scripts, because it's a lot less stressful to not be thinking what's next, all the time.
I do know.
But I also produce. I started producing. I took that route because I knew in writing, and I knew I had to do that. to start taking matters into my own hands. So we have a couple feature film projects that are like moving towards something for bigger budgets,
Molecule.
which is cool. Yes, Molecule Productions. Yeah.
I love that name, and I love what you said about it. It sets the idea is that if you walk into a room where a molecule music movie is being played, it sets off the molecules in the room. That's the kind of material you want to produce and that you want to make, is that it sizzles, you know? I love that.
Thank you. Yeah,
Uh,
I had an acting teacher who Risa Bramon Garcia. She's also a casting director. You might know her, but she's an acting coach for a while. I was taking class from her, and she said that once. That's not where we got the name. The name was from a barista at Starbucks who was like, when I was in there with my producing partner slash husband Adam, she was like, Adam Huss, you know, like your name Adam. And she goes, and what's your name, Adam? She goes, oh, Adam, a molecule. And that's where we got the name, the idea, like we should call a production company that. It's pretty cool, right? And then in class, Risa said, as an actor, it is your job when you go into the audition, when you do your self tape, when you go on set or go walk on stage, to change those molecules in that room
I
for the
love
people
that. I
for the
love that.
people. Yeah, and I thought that's cool, you know, like that's cool to like carry that. And then I thought that's really cool to have as a production company mission statement, right? Like to not just be a messagey films, because we're not about that, but if you go watch this movie, you know, when you see a great movie and you leave with that tingle in your body, you know, I love that, and
I do too.
I every night when you know, not every night, but when I'm searching through to watch something, I have a hard time because there's so many apps, right? And I'm looking for
There's
that
nothing to
movie.
watch.
I know I'm looking for that movie
Oh my God.
that's gonna get me, like those movies you love so much. And then I'm always like, I don't, do I want to? How do I know which movie's gonna get me? These trailers are deceiving.
They are, but I've been trying to find something to watch this summer, and there's absolutely nothing on television.
Yeah, I mean, there's stuff we like for sure,
Not on
but like,
television. They cut off
oh no, no,
they
not no,
stopped putting out. Well, I'm old school, you know, I wanna watch
yeah,
ABC and NBC and CBS. I wanna watch television, you know? I still have my cable, right? And I
yeah,
have every other app that I'm paying a zillion dollars for.
yeah,
So so, you know, but the first thing I do is I go to the guide on Spectrum and I look through everything.
yeah,
Well,
same.
there's talent shows, and there's a couple of game shows, and everything else is reality, which I'm not a fan of.
Me neither.
And everything else is a repeat. And this started years ago where they did the pilots in January, and then they had the mid-season replacements, and then the summer was for nobody. The summer was nothing was on, and then they would start again in September. This has been going on forever.
Yeah,
And I'm like, "Well, with the ratings the way that they are, why wouldn't they put out something in the summertime that was really cool?" You know, I mean,
yeah.
once in a blue moon, they will, but, I just think it's sad, and I'm, you know, single because my husband passed away, so I'm
Oh,
unfortunately
sorry.
alone, n a lot,
Where do
and
you live? Los
I live
Angeles?
in Palm Desert, but I think I need to move because everybody is even older than me.
Wow. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah, you don't look old at all. So I mean,
I know, thank you, I'm very grateful for my mother's genes, but it's just there's just a lot of people that are a lot older than I am, and,
yeah.
um, and then I bought my house in a place you could rent it out, so I wanted to make sure because, you know, you don't know what's gonna happen, you gotta make sure you have some money coming in from someplace, so I got a place I could rent out, and so
Oh,
therefore,
that's great.
it's
That's
not
great.
quite as, permanent with people.
Mm,
So it's been a little bit lonely, but anyway, that's not the point. So I watch a lot of television. My favorite thing to watch is Family Feud. How sad is
wow.
that? I love Family Feud. I love it. I love it. I watch
That's
it every
great.
night before I go to bed, and people just laugh at me.
Is it
But
Steve Harvey still?
yeah, and I love Jeopardy. I if I get 2 or 3 right,
Yeah, you're good. You're
I feel
happy.
like a brainiac, right? And then the celebrity ones, I wanna be on one of the celebrity ones because they ask on Wheel of Fortune, they ask the dumbest questions to the celebrities. If you ever get asked to be on one of these things, don't be nervous because they always ask the celebrities the really stupid questions.
Oh no, I'd love to be on.
Yeah, well, we should pitch that. You should pitch that. It'd be
I
fun.
w-
Good
I
time.
was actually on like Supermarket Sweep when I first started. Like,
Were you?
when I first, I should say, when I first moved to LA. Not when I first started. It wasn't like an acting thing. It was a. I was in LA. My friend Christine was like, "I want to try out for this. I love this show." And I was like, "Oh, hell yeah! I used to watch this all the time." So we auditioned and we got it. You go. It's like an audition. You go in this big group meeting and like I don't even know where it was. It was near like um Simi Valley or something. And yeah, we got on and it was hysterical. And we just recently, like, I mean, last week, we found it finally on YouTube. And it was one of the funniest things. I look
I have
like,
got to see that.
okay, I'll send you the link. I look like a Guido straight out of from Long Island because I was. I got a chain. I'm tan. I got like this like buzz cut up to the heavens.
I love
And
it.
and then like I guess I said I was a doorman because you can't say you're an actor, and
I
I
know,
think
right?
that might have been my job at the time. I don't even remember,
So you were
but I'm
playing a
like,
doorman,
yeah. So I'm
an
like, yeah,
Italian New
exactly.
York doorman. There you
Yeah,
were.
he's like, and what do you do for your job? I mean, I'm like, yeah, I'm a doorman, and he's like, oh yeah, and what is the request room? I'm like, I don't even know. I said no, no shirts, no shorts. So he's like, could I get in? I'm like, I don't even know. I said make like the dumbest joke, and it
Well, they
really
always
was.
say no shoes, no shirts, no entry or something, no
Yeah, yeah,
service, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was really funny. I'll send it to you. And I'm like, and we
Those were the
got to run.
days.
Yeah,
Those were
right.
the days people had to wear shirts and shoes
In a club. Yeah,
to get in
exactly.
anywhere.
Now,
Now
oh
they can
no,
just move in. "Hi, I'm moving in. I'm gonna live in
yeah,
your lobby."
right.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna move out. Exactly.
I'm telling you. So your husband, when did y'all get married?
So we met in 2013. Sorry, 2012, doing a play, a musical. Um,
You
and
were in a musical?
yeah,
What do
yeah,
you
I
do?
was. I was a singer. Yeah, I was like it was called Justin Love. It was a world premiere musical in LA that was going to go to Broadway, and it was they were testing it there, running it there, and it ran for 6 months. It was really successful. It was sort of like a movie star who is married and is a big movie star. Like, so it was all about like this guy who was this big movie star, like a Tom Cruise level, and but he's hiding a secret. It's his marriage is set up and all that stuff. And he has this crazy PR person who was hysterical, played by Alette Uri Taylor, who's on Chicago Med, and she
Love
was
that show.
hysterical. Yeah, she was so funny. And she was like just this angry PR person who was like trying to protect me at all costs. And then she hires this young PR guy who we wind up falling in love. So meanwhile, I want to like risk it all and come out, but I'm scared. So
Oh,
but it was very funny. It was like a spot on farce of Hollywood. So all the songs were like clever, and the book was really really well done. So it ran for a long time, and it got a lot of people's attention that that were that I was on their radar, but maybe they knew me as a waiter or a trainer or whatever I did,
or a
a doorman,
doorman.
doorman. So it really got people going like, wow, he could act and he could sing and he played a movie star. And then from that, I met my husband there, which was
Awesome.
unbelievable. Yeah, he was
Awesome.
in the play in like a smaller role, and he was my understudy. So
Guys, yeah, I can see a similarity. I can see having
yeah,
your understudy, yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. So I gave him nights. I was like, you have to go on. You're great, and he could dance, and he's really great. And yeah, so it helped us both. And then I booked a series from that. I think because I was on people's radar more, like a couple months later, I booked a series called Power, and I moved to New York without him, without our dog Sawyer, who we also just got. Oh, yeah. Well, I had adopted Sawyer because I know a lot of my posts are about Sawyer. Everybody knows my dog, but I adopted him when I started the play, like right before. And I really could not, I was in no position to have a dog. I was really a struggling actor living in like my friend's converted garage,
We all
just,
do this. We all do this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as somebody, my friend Mike, who works on Days of Our Lives, he's an assistant editor there. Or an editor, sometimes assistant director. he adopted this dog, and I see him on Facebook, and the dog is adorable. It's a little black dog named Sawyer, and I'm like, Mike, I gotta meet this dog. Like, I'm so drawn to him. He's so cute. And then a week later, Mike's like, listen, I can't do this. Like, I'm working in Burbank. I live in the West LA. This poor dog is like being stuck in a
Alone.
kennel. Yeah, and he gets walked like in the middle of the day, but it's not enough. And I was like, no, it's not. Listen, I'm in no position. I said, but I have to meet him. Let me see. Let me see him. So he brings him over. He's crying, and he's like, hands me the dog. And he's like, I'm so connected with Rennie. I'm like, let me see. And he jumps in my arms, and I look at him, and I'm just like, this is my son.
This
This is
is
my
my
son.
son.
This is my puppy
Yeah.
son. So I was like, I'm taking him. Yep. And so I'm like, don't worry, you'll be Uncle Mike, and you'll be able to take care of him whenever you want. He doesn't. Uh, but
Do you ask?
but yeah, but he's helped a couple times.
It's
But
hard because when you are, I remember I used to go to post. I learned a lot in post. When I was on Capitol, I used to go to post-production all the time, and if you
okay.
go to post, you learn so much, right? You learn about, like, how to end a scene on a button so that they'll, um, have something to cut, or
Yeah.
you get really good at making an entrance so that they'll have something to cut to. There's
Yeah.
just certain things that you learn that you would never learn if you didn't hang out in post. And so I was
100%.
I was in post till 10 o'clock at night. So if he's
Wow.
doing that, he's there from the morning till late. There's no
Yeah.
way you can have a dog. I mean,
No, it was
it's not
so
really fair to
unfair.
the dog unless you've got somebody to come and take care of the dog all the time, which is kind of not the point of it, right? But
Right.
but we all rescue dogs, especially like in General Hospital, there was a dog I got. My first dog was Sammy, and my next rescue was Roxy in New York. And I always look at the dog's face and ask them if they're my dog,
Mhm. Yeah.
and they'll
Love
tell
that.
you.
Yeah.
You can look at like 10 different dogs, and they're like, "Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm." And then you finally look at a particular dog, and you're like, am I supposed to have you? Are you my dog?" And
Yeah.
they'll I don't know what it is, but
Uh,
they'll let you
you're
know.
right. You're right.
It's the
100%.
weirdest thing, isn't it? It's just so weird. I
It
wonder
is.
I just wonder sometimes in heaven if if it really is, if there really are, like, lots of dogs and cats and animals that we love running around up there. I have no idea how it works because God doesn't talk about that in the Bible.
I feel like there's gotta be though, because I
I
don't.
want Bible too. I want the
Yeah.
sequel,
I
I have some questions that were
yeah.
answered over here.
Yeah, I feel like it's not the end, that I always say, even love between people, and that love between pets is so just as strong, right? That can't just dissipate to me,
No,
I just don't think so. So I think I'd
so
like
it's
to think.
wonderful. I had a problem last night because I don't have anybody. I'm I'm going down to San Diego to take a couple of days off and hang out and get to know San Diego because I don't know it.
Hmm.
And so I'm going down there. My friend's meeting me there a day for my birthday, for the weekend.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah. So I didn't have anybody take care of my dog, Lola. So Bella came last night to have dinner with us, of course, and she said she'd take Lola if I got her a vibrating dog collar. So I had a dog collar delivered, and it was the wrong one.
Wait, why does she need that? Because is Lola kind of scared of new people sometimes?
No, she's not allowed to have dogs in her.
Oh, so if she barks, she could buzz the thing.
Well, she could
Mm.
get in trouble, right? So if she
Can't she?
barks,
Can't
this
she
thing
stay at your
goes.
house?
No, I can't take her, and I can't.
Ah.
I'm in LA right now. This is not my
Oh.
setup. This is my sister's house.
Ah.
Nobody could handle the dog, so we almost had an emergency last night. But I'm hoping that when she left this morning, the dog didn't go crazy because Lola just only barks when you leave. You know.
So she did wind up taking her.
Yeah.
You listen, my dog is the same way. And like, just to end that story, like when I took him over from my buddy Mike, I was in no position to have a dog. I was starting that play. I was personal training at the time, living in Atwater, which is 45 minutes from where I was. So I would bring him everywhere. He was literally just under my arm every day. We didn't get the proper training right away because I was like, I had no time. So he
Yeah.
was just under my arm every day, and wherever I went, he'd be outside in a little kennel. He'd be at rehearsal, and that's really how Adam and I met, was because he loves babies and dogs. Like Adam is like obsessed. So he kept like going outside to pet the dog, and that's how we bonded. Because he
Oh.
had never, yeah, he had never been with a guy. He was scared of that, and I understood that because I was very like picky about the whole thing, and I was confused and figuring things out. And so when we met, it was like because of the dog, and it was like it brought us it just bonded us so quickly. And now here we are 12 years later, and the
That's
dog,
really great.
yeah, and we got married in 2019, and the dog was at the ceremony. Sawyer was at the ceremony, and he just like, he just means so much to us that like when I'm leaving to come do this for a month and a half, it was tough. It was tough, and he's not easy. He's so sensitive. We've done so much training with him and brought him to places, and they're like, this is a very sensitive dog. He's not a normal dog. Like you can't just leave him at a border. He has to be like home boarded with someone who trusts. So we have those people, thankfully, and I'll shout them out: Auntie Leslie, Uncle Paul. They're amazing, but we really don't have many people beyond that because he's so skittish with people. So it's tough. It's been tough. And when I booked this, Adam, he's also an actor. He booked a series in Kentucky. So we both left. I left the eighth. He left the ninth, and I was so stressed out. So now he's back with him, thankfully, and I feel way better. And I could spy on them on the
The
furbo, and
Sawyer's all good.
he's good. Yeah,
All
he's
right,
good.
all right. Well, that's really important.
Yeah, yeah,
It really is.
it
So
is.
so I was looking at some of your really beautiful scenes that I've seen that are on General Hospital.
Thank you.
I saw your whole reel and your drama reel and your comedy reel and all that, but I love the scene that you had with your son. Um,
Yeah,
and I didn't
Nicholas.
have time to look up his name, and I feel really, really stupid that I don't know his name. The older one.
Yeah, Nicholas Alexander Chavez, who's on Monster
He's a
now on.
gorgeous guy, absolutely gorgeous guy, like 20 something, 30 something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was. I mean, he was very, very, very popular on that show. It him and uh, they had a whole romance. They called him Sprina, and
Oh,
yeah, and so when
when they
he went
keep
off.
killing you off, honey, you stop watching. I'm
Well,
sorry.
he didn't get
No,
killed off.
me. I
Oh,
don't
oh,
watch it much
of
because I
course.
just go, "Oh, I'm
No,
still
of
dead."
course. Yeah, watch it. It's hard to watch when you're not involved.
When
Yeah,
you're
I get.
when you're dead. Yeah, it's hard to watch when you're dead. But
Yeah,
but I do
totally.
think he's great. He's really great.
He's great, and he like was a big deal on the show, and everyone he won an Emmy, I think, and so he left the show to go do a Ryan Murphy series, which started last night, called based on the Menendez brothers,
Oh my
and
god.
yeah, I think he plays Lyle. Is that his name?
Yeah, yeah, Lyle
It's
Menendez.
Eric and Lyle. I think he plays Lyle, and the other guy plays Eric, and the other guy's really good too. I know his work, and it's with Javier Bardem and Chloe
Wow.
Sevigny, their parents. So he's just skyrocketing.
Good.
So he left just to go film that, and they gave him an out, and he ain't coming back. He,
Well, I
he.
it's funny because I'm really, really good at spotting talent. When I produced the Derby Stallion, I, I saw this kid named Zac Efron on a he had a
Oh
tiny
wow.
he had a tiny little part on a show, and I said, "He's gonna be huge, and, bring him in." So, I brought him in, I built the whole show around the whole movie around him, and then he got High School Musical after that.
Yeah, you knew. Yeah, I could.
Oh,
I'm
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 really
good
good
at
at
that
it.
too.
I'm real that's what that I'm really, really good at it, and if I tell somebody that I think they're good, they are. I mean, I do have that. I do know that I do that well, and so when I saw him, I'm not surprised, you
Yeah.
know? And I saw the scene with, you and he and the baby.
Yes, he's so cute playing.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was so touching.
I know. I know. It
And
was
and
that.
and the scene with you and Laura, where she
Yeah.
like, "If you walk out that door, it's over. You're gonna be with
Yeah.
me." I don't get to see her enough,
Yeah. She's great.
and, I thought that was really, really terrific, and I
I'm
love
so.
same with you and Ava. Ava was created by Ron Calavardi. I think that's how you say his name. And it was really right after they killed me off the first time, and everybody was upset, really upset, or the second time. And so they created a sister who has an art gallery like Olivia, is involved in the mob like Olivia, is blonde like Olivia, is a little bit bitchy like Olivia. So it's like a lot of my stuff, but minus some of the other things, crazy things.
Mm.
So I love watching her because she does such a good job, you know,
Yeah.
and
Were you similar? Was your character similar to her in that fierceness?
more so,
Wow. Wow.
more so. That's
You
that's
were
where
like,
that's where yeah, I mean, I did Fatal Attraction on that show,
mm.
and it was huge, you know, and
How
then
how long were you on?
I was only on there 4 years or 3 years.
Mm.
So to make an impact like that was a pretty big deal.
And you kept coming back, or
No, I went to One Life to Live,
ah,
and I played Alex on One Life to Live, and then they turned around and had me do the same story, and,
wow.
and I complained about it. I wasn't happy about that because I was like, "These are the same people that are watching me now that watched me before. They've seen this already." And
Yeah.
right now it's on the Fatal Attraction I did on One Life to Live is on right now. It's on onelife2live.com, and
Oh, wow.
they're showing it, and it was really fun. It was really great. It was I mean, anytime you get to sort of do your own version of what a Glenn Close or or a Meryl Streep gets to do, you just are like, "Oh my god, thank you so much, God." I was really at the top of my game when I left, so, um
Well, that's why, like, people who poo's sometimes daytime, there is still a stigma about daytime. There just is. And you could do this amazing. Like, if I did this same work that you're seeing on some nighttime show, I bet you I would get a lot more nighttime shows or guest stars or cast director people, but cast directors aren't necessarily watching GH. Like, fans are watching, people are watching, but it is a huge fan base. But I don't think the industry is watching. And that's just what I feel from. And I don't know if you agree or not, but I do. I
No, it's
do
true,
feel.
especially now.
But
But
it
when I
doesn't
was
matter,
on, everybody, I mean, there were 14 shows on when I was on.
right? Right. But I say that because it doesn't matter to me because I don't care who's watching. I'll do great work anywhere and anywhere
Me
every
too.
time. I'm never going to phone it in, and I take it very seriously. Super passionate about it, and it's so exciting. Talk about the tingles! Like, every time I get a script, I'm like, "Ooh, I get to do this."
Me
You get to
too.
play Glenn
Me too.
Close. You get to do Meryl Streep. I don't I don't care if it's a little bit of ripping off from that. It's super fun that I get to go do this because when I do get the guest stars or even the opportunities for, like, a procedural, even that's not as juicy as what I get daily on GH, you know?
Never. It's
It's always like
never
a
as juicy. It's never as
no,
juicy. It's
it's
so
always
much
like a mini movie, and it's really fun.
I loved daytime television. I loved it.
Yeah.
Um, and I never ever did when I was on Capitol at the beginning, it was a little bit, it wasn't as juicy as these roles were at all. But I was really young too, so they just give you the young stuff, and you've got a boyfriend here and a boyfriend there and da da da.
Yeah.
But the real depth of character I got to develop was really amazing. But we're not talking about me, we're talking about you. So I wanted to tell you
Yeah.
that I thought it was really, really cool to watch you do your work, and I thought it was really
Thank you.
fascinating, especially the one with Ava, because
Thank you.
because I got to see your relationship somehow with her that I didn't even know existed because I don't watch the show. And then your references to Sunny. What's the situation with you and Sunny and Ava?
Yeah, I mean, that was interesting because when I'd gotten those sides, I hadn't been informed. They don't inform you, they just sort of give you the sides, and you have no clue what's going on since I've been in jail. And I went to jail in December. It aired in February, but I went to jail in December. I filmed that, and no one told me what I was up to in jail, you know. And I figured, I don't know if you just saw it just aired. It just aired like a couple weeks ago, where Laura visited me to see if I was a match for Lulu, which is also some great stuff that the writers had. And that was where I thought Nicholas was when Ava was coming to see me. I thought he was in a really vulnerable, dark place. Like, my son is dead. My baby son got ripped out of my arms just when I thought I had him, and I lost my wife, who tried to kill me, even though I still love her. And I'm in jail. I lost it all. Like, to me, that was desolation. And I
I
thought,
saw it. I saw it. I saw it. I
I,
felt it. I got it. It was wonderful. And you're saying to her, you can tell me anything because I've got nothing to lose. Um,
yeah, and it was a little tough to play. Like, because I went in there with all that, and for some reason that day, Frank was very present on set, and he kept, like, he'd come in and give a note, and then he'd be like, great job, whatever. And then he'd come in and give a note, great job, and then he was like really pushing this, like, you love her, don't forget you love her. And I was like, I know I do, I damn well know I do, and I do love her, so let's go. But it was like, he's like, you love that she's telling you about Sonny, and I was like, I do? Like, I love that my ex-wife is telling me that she's possibly falling in love with this guy that I hate, that that was involved in the death of the love of my life. Um, I don't know if you remember that storyline, but that was a whole other storyline. So I knew all that because I really do my research and I watched the clips on YouTube. So I knew that my feelings for Sonny were dark, but he wanted me to find joy in this. So thankfully, Maura helped me along there, and she was like, "Listen, you don't know this, and you wouldn't know this, but Mark, the guy who played Nicholas last, we used to find joy in our escapades. When we tell each other escapades, it was like something that really turned us on to tell these stories." So she's like, "You're getting," and her and Frank, to their credit, both helped me understand that. Oh, even though he might not want to hear this, this is a 5 minutes or 4 minutes of normal life, of what we
for him.
used to do, of a glimmer of what I felt in that moment. I could, like, escape here and be in this fun moment. Like, I'm gonna go walk right back into my castle after this, and we're gonna make love. So I was able to find that with their help, because at first I didn't understand what that note was about. Because I'm like, I am loving her, but how am I happy about hearing this? But it made sense once they helped me put that together. So
It was also well done because, she said she doesn't love the guy,
mm, yeah,
and you didn't not believe her.
right,
What you said was you love being in the inner sanctum. You like being you like being in the
right.
White House.
Yes, exactly.
It
And
might be
then
the
and
Black
then
House, but you like being in the White House and
yeah,
being where everything is and not having to worry about getting stabbed in the back. And I was like, that's such a great place to be for her and you, for you
yeah.
to be able to put that together. And like I said, I don't watch it much, but I have friends that keep me up to date because some of these people, my God, they've watched the show for freaking 25 years, 30 years. It's really something else.
I love that. Every single time I meet someone, that's what they say. It's not like it's always the same story. I've watched the show since I was 3 or 4 or 2 with my grandma, with my mom, and I watch it every day, and I love that. I
Yeah.
just think that is so cool to be a part, because I'm so connected to my family and my past and all the things that shaped me, that it really, that's such a cool thing to me.
Well, that's why when I went back, they had me do things that she never would do, and I don't know who wrote it, but they didn't know my character at all. They made
So
her
you did go back.
in 2017, I went back for a month, and I did, like, 6 months worth of work in a month. It was, like, 6
Did,
shows a day.
did you ever work with Mora?
A little bit. She's my sister, so a little bit, but
Right.
it wasn't Olivia. I don't know who I was playing, but it
Mm.
wasn't Olivia, you know what I mean? And I kept saying, people that are watching this at home know that she's already done this story and she's already cured of this disease, this Ian Buchanan Duke disease. We did this already. And that's what's so upsetting. And she also would never get her hands dirty. She'd never shoot anybody herself. She just wasn't, she had people, you know. So it was hard to work that way, and to know that people at home has been watching the show since they were kids, and they're going to know that this isn't real. But Frank did
Yeah.
say a lot of the people that were watching the show when I was on are probably dead now.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it could be true. Could be true.
It's a rough business, baby. It's a rough business.
It is. And listen, to your credit as an actor, I so appreciate that you wanted to honor all that. And now I just also have learned, like, it just like I choose, and I'm not saying you had to do this, but like there is stuff that I'm like, why am I doing this? But I just try to make sense of it, because I know if I ask, hey, as an actor, I'm always going to have integrity and ask the right questions to get to what I have to play. But I will then find the truth. Like in that moment with the Sunny stuff, I was really like, I started finding myself wanting to get mad and be like, what are you talking about? But I was like, okay, you have to make sense of this, because you're not in a position to speak up too much. You come here, I've been here twice this year only. So I'm like, I need to like just make it work and figure it out. This is what he wants, and this is what I got to figure. So I thank God I was able, with both of their feedback, to make sense of that and play the truth of what that was for him. Because I didn't want it to come across like some phony, like, oh yeah, I'm getting off on this. I needed it to be true.
It
I
was.
needed it to be.
It was really sincerely, really, really good. Now what
And
do
I just want to say, and the last thing I had brought back into that scene was like the end was when she walked out and she said, "Well, I'm going to go do this, and no matter what." So blah. My first thought was like, "Shit! Now I'm going to lose you. I lost, even though we have this tumultuous thing, and you did try to kill me. I lost everything. I might not get out of here." And now and I knew I was being transferred to a further away prison for some reason. And now I'm going to lose you. And that to me was the dire stakes of the thing at the end. So thankfully I got to bring that back in the end,
Yeah,
and it wasn't just
you
this
did,
like,
and I
oh,
and I left the scene feeling like you guys were gonna get together eventually.
yeah, I hope so. We'll see. Anyway, you were going to ask something, and I just
Yeah,
wanted to
what are
interject.
you doing in the production company? Because I saw that you've done so many other things. I mean, you've done a lot of episodic. Um, but
Yes.
what was Dr. Sam? What was that? Are you
Oh, that was fun.
okay?
That was, oh man, that's a sad story. But I did this friend of mine, Summer Chaston. I met her on the first on a whole different TV series. She hired me on this like web series called Rage Room, about a woman who opens up like a rage room where you break stuff. It's a
Oh, yeah,
real
yeah,
thing, I
yeah.
guess.
I've never been to
And
one, but I know what they are.
yeah, me neither, except in the show. And I played her husband, who like they were estranged, and it's sort of what made her start the Rage Room. Anyway, so she had made this show, um Namaste Bitches, back in before Rage Room, and Steven, it went to like, I don't even remember where, but Slam Dance or Sundance, and Steven Spielberg was interested in it.
I love
Wanted
the
to,
name. I just thought it was fantastic.
yeah, really funny, really, really good writing by Summer. And so she was in it, and so she did season one on a web series, and Steven Spielberg wanted to make it into a series and sell it to HBO. I mean, it was like she had arrived, and it died. It
Why?
never went. I don't know why. He paid her. They developed it. It just never went. So
Huh.
after hitting rock bottom, and every actor goes through this or producer goes through this, she started. She did the other series, Rage Room, and that was kind of that went to Slam Dance and got some following. But then she decided, I'm going to make season 2 of Namaste Bitches on my own, fund it, and I'm going to pitch it both as like and try to get this made. So we had just filmed it. She finished it, showed us. I think she just released like the last episode or something online, and I was her psychiatrist. A really funny role, like just like, I don't give a shit. I'm taking pills, and I'm just like, you're nuts, honey. Just basically like, but take this ketamine and come back and call me, whatever. But meanwhile, anyway, she releases the last episode. I'm filming GH, and I remember it was like, I think it was my first time I really taken over for Marcus, like when I knew I was taking over for 10 episodes. And I just finished, and it was like this glorious, like I just had a talk with Frank about how great he thought I was doing. I was so happy. I get a phone call. I walk outside, and this co-star of mine, she tells me that Summer took her life, the girl. the producer, the creator. And it was so sad. It hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was like,
Oh, how
what?
horrible.
Yes. And I just, it really, what it did for me in that moment, and the reason I tell the story is it really put it in perspective, because I was like hanging all of this joy on this job that I just got, and woohoo, I'm getting to do this thing. And it can go away like that. And it does, and it did, and it didn't become what it was going to be yet. And so you cannot hang your worth, your identity on this stuff. And it's so hard. It is so hard to not do that when society tells us, at 47 we need to have a regular job and need to have an income, and not, it just, so many things go along with that. And I think that she was fighting all those battles, and whatever they won, and she took her life. And it was so sad to me that, yeah, I hope it wasn't because of something like this, but I can't imagine it didn't play some kind of part.
I do know.
Yeah, I know.
Um, when I met my husband, he was from Cleveland, Ohio. And I was brought up in a little tiny town outside of Columbus, Ohio, and I couldn't wait to leave. And I was a kid, and it wasn't that I wasn't happy, it's just that I knew I wanted to be an actress, and I didn't see how I was ever gonna get where I wanted to go. At that young of an age, I knew this. So I feel like, how am I ever gonna get to do what I wanna do from here?
Yeah,
That's kind of pretty profound, I mean, I don't know, but
but
I've
you
been
did it, and
having
you're
these
doing it.
conversations. Well, we went to Baltimore, and, one thing led to another, and I was fortunate enough to get what I got. But when I met Ed and I ended up back in Cleveland, um, I had the house, the car, the 401k. I became the man I wanted to marry, and I had the Emmy nomination. I really had succeeded, and
Mm,
but I was 37 and I needed to have kids like yesterday. Yep. Right. So I put my worst foot forward because I had no intention of moving to Cleveland. So I showed him all my faults right up front. If I was gonna fight you about something, I didn't, like, wait. If you did something I didn't like, I would wait normally, and talk about it later, like, after you were in love with me. No, I'm gonna nail you right now so you leave and I can get on with my life. I
mm.
swear. And he said he didn't leave. So
Love that.
so when I moved to Ohio, people were shocked, but he became even more successful, but he told me, "You're never gonna have to worry." So that's the reason I felt safe doing that, and I kept doing things once in a while, but it wasn't like I was working at it. And then when
Yeah.
he got cancer, we had to spend a fortune on his
Oh,
treatment to
sorry.
keep him alive, this European treatment that worked for 4 years with pancreatic cancer, okay? It's 3 to 6
Oh,
months dead,
yeah.
and
Yep.
we got it
Yep.
for 4 years,
Wow.
okay?
Wow.
But now I have to
Wow.
work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the hard part now,
Of
is being,
course.
being my age and knowing that it's, I mean, I'm older, I'm a lot older,
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
like, who's gonna hire me? Um,
Well,
if I
I will
get
hire you.
if I get
I'll
in a
hire you.
thank you, I appreciate that, I really would.
No,
So
for real. I will definitely, like, you look great, and I'm sure and I guarantee your work is great. And
thank
I'm gonna audition you for all my stuff, or if not, call you in for stuff that I start producing.
very sweet of you, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
So what is going on after this, and what is happening with this heavy hitters thing? I'm very excited about it. I heard it was really cool, and that they're
it
having
is. It
real
is.
baseball players and stuff come.
Yes, and I wish you had gotten to be a part of it. It would have been so cool. It would have been so cool.
I know, it would have been
Um,
fun.
but there'll be a season two. You never know.
Yeah,
There'll be more. Um, and I just want to say first, I'm sorry about the loss of your husband. I don't want to go past that. I know how big that is, so I am really sorry for your
thanks.
loss.
Thank you.
Um, but yeah, just because I do actually have to get going to set soon. I'm
Yes, you
filming today,
do. I'm
so
aware. I looked at the clock.
yeah. So I'll tell you in a nutshell. Heavy Hitters is a baseball series. Candace Kane is she's the creative producer, director of all the episodes. She's a real powerhouse. I mean, she's someone who started this business of these producing movies in such a small scale, and has grown. I mean, I found her because I was, this job came across my manager's desk, and she's like, "Look, this is a really kind of cool concept. Like, it's like a Shining. You'd play like the Jack Nicholson guy." I'm like, "Oh yeah, right up my alley. Let me see." So I auditioned. She was interested. I wound up getting the offer, and I'm like, "But I have to go to New York and be upstate in like Lake Placid. But well, I could maybe see my family. I'll do it." So I was a little nervous because you never know, independent filmmaking, you never know. But again, she was amazing. We hit it off, and the crew was amazing, and so was the cast. It was a real blast. And so from there,
What was that one
she
called?
it was called Peekaboo.
Peekaboo. Okay, in case people
Yeah,
want to see it, or me, I want to see it.
yeah. Thank you, and I'll let you know. If it comes out, when it comes out, where it's coming out.
Okay.
But then from there, I did this other one with her, this rom-com called The Wedding Bell, and it was super sweet, really fun. Out east on Long Island, beautiful locations. Got to stay with my family, had such a blast. Did another one with her called Double Booking,
Oh
and
my
again,
God.
but each time had to audition, but then
Yeah.
got the part, and
Yeah.
and then this last one was Heavy Hitters, and she told me about it. And my family's baseball, and they're all into it, but I am not necessarily like a great baseball player. I've just never been, and 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 so I was like, "Listen, you want real baseball players, and I'm not one, so I'm not going to audition for this one." She goes, "No, you can audition for the coach. Like, there's a great role, Coach Rob. He's a prick." She's like, "But it's so juicy, it's so fun." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, give me that." And so I read it, and I was like, "Oh my God, I want to play him." He is like every coach I ever had in junior high and high school that I hated, and now I get to like cathartically play that out. So really tough audition process with that one, because she kept going back and forth, and then she's like, "Maybe you're the nice coach." I'm like, "No, I'm this." She knew that I was this one coach, but this other producer was saying maybe he's the nice coach because he's so nice. But she's like, "No, he's this
No,
guy."
he's the prick.
Yeah. So anyway, we wound up having this awesome audition, like with the other actor that she was cast, because she was waiting to cast people to do like a chemistry read, and I have this volatile relationship with this one star player, played by this actor River, who's really really talented guy, and all found by Candace, because she found like great baseball players and great talent, which was a testament to her. Because each time I meet them, like each person you've cast here is like someone I've seen in like a movie before, like a little Cole Hauser, a little like River Phoenix. Like there's all the. She's got
I
a great
told you,
entourage.
Donna McKenna is my friend, and she's
Yes,
really good. Yeah.
yeah. Donna and Candace are really great at what they do. And anyway, long story short, it's been a blast, and I am really excited about the stuff that we've done so far. We're on episode 4. Believe it or not, we're wrapping that on Tuesday,
How
and then
many
we're
are
on
you
that
doing in a row?
six episodes.
Oh my
And
gosh, you're
I,
kidding.
I was supposed to come in 2, but I couldn't because I was filming General Hospital. So she like pushed it, thankfully. So I come in 3. So I'm doing four in a row. But like she's been filming since August.
Bless her heart, man.
Yep, yep. She's a killer. And then she got hit with the baseball,
No
and
way.
yep, and had stitches in her eye. I mean, she could have been terrible. And she showed up the next day for work. She
Just
showed up the next day stitched up. Never like just sometimes said it hurts a little bit, and hardly complained. I
ouch.
kept checking on her, like, take your ibuprofen every 4 hours. Come on. She's really a powerhouse. She's like, there's no one like her. It's unreal. And
Candace
then yes,
Candace Kane.
Candace Kane. Yeah. Yeah. I love her. But lastly, I'll just say, you asked me about productions, and like I'm producing a horror film with an elevated twist to it. It's like a werewolf movie, but we're using the lore of werewolves as like a metaphor for identity and transformation in yourself. So it's a pretty cool story. We've been working on it for a long time. We have a very interested party right now that might want to do it for the budget that it's meant to be done at.
It sounds
Um,
like a psychological thriller.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But like, think of the Wolfman back in the day, the '50s Wolfman. You know how Larry Talbot, played by the great Lon Chaney Jr., he like hated being a werewolf. It was such a turmoil inside for him. So we use that um, as a metaphor for this being an outsider, an outcast who hates his insides, but and needs to learn to love himself. Like, so it's like, it's not a feel good movie, but it's a love story. It's a full out horror film. It's so fun. It's like a Scream meets the Wolfman. It's pretty rad. And then
Fantastic.
And then I wrote a coming of age high school movie called Original True. That's like Pretty in Pink, but with a modern day twist. And that is, we've got Bradley Bredwig attached to that, who produced The Fosters and Good Trouble, and this producer in New York called Hunter Arnold, who's helping us fund the movie. But everything's taking a lot of time,
Oh,
but
yeah.
we're getting there. And then there's
I've
another one
spent
called
3 years writing 10 hours. I've got a 10-hour limited series, so
It's amazing.
yeah, I'm not quite ready to pitch it yet, but I mean, it's really been a lot of work. It's been fun though.
I would love to hear that when you're ready.
Okay.
With that.
Yeah. I am so happy I met you.
Me too. I knew I would love talking to you, and
Yeah,
I could keep
did
talking
you?
to you. But
Oh, good.
happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you.
the best time in San Diego.
Thanks. I will. I can't wait to see all your projects, all the things you're working on.
Thank
Send me a
you.
little note. I'll put it in the comments, the things for people to look out for.
I
And
will.
as people read them and they really, people love you, man. And I don't, and I know why. I know why.
That's really cool to hear, and thank you.
Thank
You
you.
know what? I've learned to be more authentic in myself than I've ever been in my life, and that I think that's what's changed the thing. That's what helps change the
Oh,
molecules.
The longer you're in LA, the more you realize how important that is because you don't see it much.
Oh, big time, big time.
So I'm really
But
happy to meet you, and I can't wait to see you in person. Have a great
me
day and a
too.
wonderful
We've got to meet in person,
time.
and I'd love
Okay.
to really work with you sometime. So
Me too. So go rip it up today, okay?
thank you. Happy birthday. Have a
Thank
great
you.
time in San Diego.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Hi, thank you so much for watching One Day to Love. I really appreciate your viewership, and if you could, like and subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate that. They tell me that I need to have 1,000 subscribers, and I don't yet. I've had way over 1,000 views, but I need subscribers. It doesn't cost anything, and nobody will ping you or bother you if you don't put your notifications on. But it would really help me, and it would keep the show on the air. I love bringing these people into your life and to sharing all these interesting things with you. I've gotten some great comments, but I'm always open for more. I'm just learning how to do all this computer stuff. So I will be getting back to the people that have commented. I did that this morning. And I just wanted to thank you again for supporting me here. I hope you're enjoying. Take care. Bye-bye.